Your life, you mean?
There we go. Hey. I like how the backdrop works.
You say so.
All right. We don't get specifically a notice that we're live. You just look at the time down at the bottom here. It says we're live, but we'll see. I can hear you if you speak. That's all that matters.
Yeah, okay. Just ignore me if I get asleep.
Hey, hello. You'll have to forgive me. I'm a little further away from the screen.
So you're saying you're having a hard time reading?
Yeah. I'm in that in between. Your voice is very layered. It's echoey still.
Steel? It's still.
I don't know why it's doing that. I thought I had these problems worked out. Hello. I don't know why it's echo. If I do it through the webcam mic and the speakers, then it feeds back really bad. Looking at the sound system here. This is my wife, by the way. Looking at the sound. Audio. I can back the microphone down some. Back the headset down. Does that sound any better? Okay, I probably just had the volume too far up on the headphones. So yeah, like I said, I was trying to use the webcam microphone, and it just wasn't working. It was feedbacking really, really bad. So now I've got my voice in my headphones, and it's driving me nuts too. Well, thank you. Yes, 28 years. That's a long time. To the same woman. But yeah, it's a long, long time. So you don't see it very much anymore, I see.
28
Thank you, Grow.
but a lot longer together.
Well, what? 3 years longer? That makes it this our 30th year?
31.
31?
She's
Okay.
already 30.
Okay. Close enough. The years just go by and by and by. So yeah, we do. She used to work with me for the last 15 years, so she's a tech too. So if you have questions,
Was. I'm a retired tech now.
you're not retired. You're still on the books.
I'm retired from you.
So yeah, I'm trying to read the comments as they're coming in. So that's the disadvantage of TikTok. We was on a voice audio chat program years ago. And everyone, it kind of worked like a Zoom meeting where everyone was in and able to talk and see each other. It was pretty cool. So, but yeah, this we don't get to celebrate on the 31st because I'm working, she's working. We work opposite shifts. So she works midnight, so I work days. So if we see each other, what, 2 hours a day?
Now, yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Was 3.
yeah. So yeah, it's a very small amount of time we see each other every day. So, but gotta do what you gotta do, right?
It's the only way we can survive.
So, but anyways, questions, throw them out there. We'll do what we can. Other than figuring out this echo thing. I mean, I can back it down more. See if that helps. So how was everyone tonight? What are you using for a microphone? This one here. It's an M-PAL wireless headset. So that's my microphone. I do have a microphone in the webcam, but if I turn that one on, the back feed is kind of like if you put a microphone up to the speaker, it's horrible. I tinkered with it for about 30 minutes before we went live to try and get it to work out. It just wouldn't work out. So, so yeah, when I use this for recording videos, it's pretty good. It's just live. The last 2 lives were a little problematic with the sound. So,
If I put it on my phone, maybe you can read it.
well, I could read it here on the side of the screen. No more echo. That's good. I pretty much backed down the headset volume to like 10%. The volume on the microphone's like 50. So I could still hear myself with that 1 second delay. That's why it kind of causes a problem. I mean, I could probably take it off, but you're sending us money. Ooh.
I sent you a rose.
Yep, Destiny did that the other day, and then
Well, I've never been live before, so I wouldn't know. I just wanted to see if it actually showed up or not.
Yep, it was all set up. The links are supposed to work on the website too, like if you tap the PayPal, but I don't see it working. Nope. Same with the other one. Same with the website. Yeah, they're not working. So it was saying that you were supposed to do that, but we can always turn those off. And then I can move this one up. And then which one? The alert is not showing. Even though it says it's there. Because it's probably overlapping. Goals. Alert. Turn it on. Drop it down. Nope. Just not going to show this time. That's alright. And I think that alert is only happening... Is it on the screen, maybe? I get the ding-dong in my ear. So... So, let's see. This is the first time I'm in a live, so hello. Oh, hello, ma'am. Junior, the one I talk to on Instagram all the time, he's just saying hi. So, yeah. Like I said, we don't have nothing planned for our anniversary because we have to work. So, we figured we'd do this. Our kids are supposed to be popping in here sometime.
Yeah, right. I bet you she forgot.
Wow.
At least the youngest one.
Our oldest one sent out a mass Facebook message to everyone, said, come join the line, but don't tell mom.
Great.
So, yeah. Hopefully some more people will show up here. But, yeah, if you all got questions.
I Destiny's hat.
I'm sorry?
I said I should have stole Destiny's hat.
Oh, yeah. The one she got at the fair?
Yeah.
Squeeze it and the ears move? Yeah. So, yeah, our county fair is going on in Fremont this week, along with the beginning of school. You know how that is. So, yeah, it's hi, Ricky. Yeah, it's an interesting time around here. School starts back. Fair's going through. Des. There's Des. Love you guys. Yep, love you too. And then our city fair is what? 2 weeks?
Something like that.
I think it's like the middle of September. So like 2 weeks after the school start, our city fair comes in. And that's only for a weekend. Thank goodness. But it
could be a weekend that I'm working, which means it's going to be a headache for me.
So, yeah, it was when downtown, which all of 2 blocks of Clyde, well, 4 if you count the other side of the railroad tracks. But, yeah, it's like 4 blocks for this whole town. downtown, but when the fair is here, you think the entire county is here. So it just every parking spot is taken. Hopefully, I'm not counting on it though, but hopefully Columbia Gas won't start tearing up the back parking lot before the fair. Before the fair, yeah. So, hey, Des, you subscribed. Thank you. Of course, you know that's like, here, have money, and then gives it back to me.
No, that's Destiny.
That's Destiny. I thought she subscribed.
Des doesn't ask for much.
So, I try. Yes, you do. Like I said, my eyes are bad with this screen. I've told you can make this bigger, but I've never been able to try. I know you can do a pop out, and it works that way, but
I can read it now.
here we go. Can't say it's much better. For me, I'm blind as a bat.
Oh, 32-inch TVs weren't big enough for you?
No. And for you don't know, I have 2 of those. So, hello. Hi, Oregon. Glad you can pop in here. So, yeah, just kind of... No, I'm using TikTok Live Studio. I just got that because you have to have 3,000 followers to unlock the software. So, yay. Next stop is 10,000 followers. That way I can get more stuff unlocked. It's just one of those different things. So OBS will work with TikTok, but you have to get TikTok to give you a server key and an app key, and this is already built in. So I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. What is this?
That is...
It's up on your screen.
You see the 11? Every time you give a rose or a gift or something, it converts to coins.
Oh, is
and
that
that's
what
that's what that goal is. So.
I was gonna say because Des asked him. I was like, oh.
Yep. So we've made 11 cents so far. The screen flickers. I don't know why it's been doing that for a couple of months now. I don't know if it's the graphics cards or the monitors.
I hope the hell it's neither.
I hope not either.
Graphics cards are expensive, and your monitors weren't cheap either.
Yep.
Correction. TVs.
They're monitors.
TVs.
They look like TVs.
They're your monitors, but they're TVs.
So,
you
but
watch
yeah,
TV
this is.
On them.
So yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, Oregon. Well, when we started off was an audio issue this time, like we did before. Before I couldn't get the audio to work at all for like the first 10 minutes or so, and then there was a firewall block, and I got that taken care of. This time, I can't get the microphone and the speakers to work properly. I have to have it echo into my ear, which is throwing off my speech. Thank you. Gifts are always good. Hey, Teresa, I didn't even know you was in here. Nice to see you. But yeah, our like I said, for our 28th, we both have to work, and so we won't get to see each other for what, like 2 hours that day.
If we're lucky.
If we're lucky. So, and this is usually a Sunday through Friday normally, unless you're doing a lot of overtime, which lately you've been pulling 12 out of 14 days. I usually, I know. So yeah, we've been getting a lot of, she's been getting a lot of overtime.
Which is supposed to be cutting back, so we'll see.
And it doesn't help that your company was just bought out by another local company, so we're going to see how that works.
They're out of Canada.
Well, yeah, but
technically,
their sister factory is in Fremont, the opposite direction where you work. So, But yeah, with you working midnights and I work days, I mean, it's nice to have the bed to myself, and you get the bed to yourself.
Yeah, that means I get the cover.
Yeah.
You don't steal it, and I don't have to hear
I
you
do no
snoring
such
or
thing.
your mask wheezing.
I do no such thing. My mask wheezes, I can't help that.
You eating it don't help either.
So hello, Teresa. Nice to, like I said, if I didn't say hi to you before, hi. Hannah, thank you. Like I said, I have bad eyes reading the screen. Even with 32-inch screens, it's kind of hard to see. Hey, hippie, there you are. So, yeah, this is... We figured we would do this. I mean, we don't have a whole lot of money to go out and do anything. You see, our daughter went to the fair and brought us back some fair food. But yeah, this is what we do. This is what happens when you get old. You don't go out as much as you used to. Plus, this being a small town,
There ain't nothing to do.
there's nothing to do
bars.
here. I mean, we have bars and pizza, and I'm not a bar person. I'd rather drink at home. You can't get a DUI that way.
Or fights, except for your other spouse.
Well, that's what you have separate rooms for. So
if the door stays shut.
So someone once asked Dolly Parton what's the secret to a long marriage. You know what she said? Separate houses. So we work opposite shifts. Even when June was working with here, when she was working here, we worked kind of an opposite shift. You would usually come in at what, like 1 in the afternoon? 11 to 1?
11 most of the time.
Yeah, so, but I'm usually in here at 4 in the morning.
Well, not my fault you're an oddball.
I'm not odd, I'm just a morning person.
No, it's still dark out.
It's normally dark out when I go to work in the morning. So, but yeah, I'm just the odd person out. I'm a morning person. So I'm usually up at 4 or 5 and usually in here doing something. Some type of work. Whether it be TikTok videos, working on a computer, working on the website, stuff
Playing
like that.
games.
Sometimes. I haven't played
videos.
Yep. Watching my YouTubes, getting my science in. Science is
Sci-fi.
fun. Wow, yeah, that
Star
too.
Trek.
When I can. So, yeah, Dolly Parton did say that. You'd have to go see an interview she did probably about 5 years ago. I can't remember where she said it at. But yeah, she said the secret to a long marriage was separate houses. That was
it out.
and that was the funniest thing. And June and I laughed about that for years.
Not that we can afford separate houses.
So.
Not in this economy.
Yep, exactly. So, OG, thank you. But yeah, this is what we figured we'd do this year. Years past, I mean, we've had parties for family and friends. Sadly, for our 25th, it was the summer that the pandemic was over, and no, ours was in the pandemic, so we didn't do anything for our 25th. So we piggyback on your parents' 50th the next year. So, yeah, so yeah, we got to do that. So some people her mom and dad shadowed ours, but 50 years is a long time too. So I should hope we'd make that long, provided we don't unalive each other by then.
No, I'd be more worried about dying at work than I am at.
Wow, this is my retirement plan. Work until I'm unalive.
I'm just trying to survive work.
I understand
all the
that.
drama that goes on over there. It's like being
anyways,
back in high
thank you all
school
for the
again.
gifts. That's appreciated. Thank you. I think, and of course my daughter subscribed. That was helpful. So, but yeah. So this is what we would thought we would do for today. This is kind of a surprise for her because when she left, what time did you leave this morning from here? About 9, 10 o'clock. I know you caught.
Which time?
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, she left. She went home, went to bed, and after she left, I was like, "Oh, this is what we'll do." Because I need to do another live. This is what we'll do since we're not going to be able to do anything on our actual anniversary. So I figured, let's do
Oh,
this.
you mean after I went and got my new shoes for work? That'd be about 2 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah. So, but yeah, this is what we did, or what I did, and this is kind of a surprise to her. So I announced it to our oldest daughter, and she broadcasted it all over Facebook and said, "Shh, don't tell mom."
She's lucky I didn't see it.
So I think in one of the comments, she said, one of her friends said, "What's this for?" She goes, "It's Dad, and this is Mom and Dad's anniversary thing." So she goes, "Shh." It was funny on Facebook. But yeah, you guys don't get to see her very often. If you go back to some of the earlier videos, you could see her in the background doing thing. But most of the part, she was not very much in the videos. It was one of those, hey, let's do a live together. She was like, okay. So
Like I have anything better to do tonight.
I know you don't have to work,
I know, ain't that shocking?
because if you had to work, you'd already be there.
Yeah, you're right.
So, but
Maybe. I'd be heading out here soon if I didn't have
if
to
you
be
was
there
doing the
early.
10 shift, yeah.
Yep.
But you've been going in at 8.
Yep.
So that means you're out of here at 7:30 because you got to go to the other side of Bellevue, pick someone up, pick up your tow motor driver, bring him to work too.
Yep.
So, yay, yep, we reached the goal. I didn't set it very high. I think maybe one next time I'll do a subscriber run because I think I'm too short on hitting the subscriber. But yeah. Hey, it does show tech next to your name, Des. That's cool. So I was wondering if I got that worked out right. But yeah, anyways, if we're both techs, so if you got questions, you can ask. And hi, Carter. Carter's our grandson. We love you too. So yeah, if you got techie questions, we'll do the best we can to answer them here. But most people just do it through the comments on a video. Of course, I liked my video today. Inappropriate images.
That's just wrong.
But yeah, that was a service call last year. That house in Green Springs that caught fire.
Yep.
A couple days after the fire, he brought me the laptop and said, "Can you get anything off of it?"
It was under my bed.
Yeah, so it didn't take a whole. It took damage, but not a whole lot of damage. So
Took more smoke damage.
More smoke damage. So the hard drive was intact. So it wasn't all melted or anything.
Thank God.
Yeah, so we was able to do that. But I mean, he fought with his insurance for a long time to get to get things settled. And it was funny because he just had an insurance inspection like a month before the house fire.
I do believe so.
So yeah, it was just weird, but anyways, who's all in here? Let's see. It says we have a total of 29 views. Looking for my viewer count. Oh, there it is. I had to look for it. We have 4 at the moment. So, but anyways, like I said, we thought we would do this. Now, I know when I was looking at TikTok Live, it says link. I thought maybe you could put a link in there where you can link into like our online store or to PayPal or Cash App, and it didn't do it that way. I've never done that before, so I had to give it a try. That's why I turned it off once we got going. So, But yeah, this is looking at the phone here. That's pretty interesting. So, all right. Well, it looks like it's just 3 of us in here now.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to get, and we just hit the 25-minute mark, so that's the minimum we've got to do. So we're right where we're supposed to be. So
don't need to kill my battery too much.
There is a Hannah. Yeah, I saw a Hannah in here. Going through, like I say, I saw my friend in Pittsburgh. She popped in. I saw that. OG, I don't know if you're still here, but
Luann stopped in.
Yep. So quite a few people.
You used to work with Hannah, huh?
Ah, that's where she came from, at Myers. Okay. Yeah.
I say that name sounded familiar, but
I was going to say I've heard the name before too. So, funny thing is on my one video today, not before this one. I think it was the inappropriate image, or maybe it was the one before that. Somebody out of North Carolina said he wants to come up and visit me at the shop because I'm becoming internet famous. I was like, no, don't curse me like that. I don't want 15 minutes of fame. I want all of it. So
15 minutes of fame, huh?
Yeah, I figured throw this out there. This makes our third 25-minute plus video, and that makes TikTok happy, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, take it all.
Take it all. Take it all. What's Pinky in the Brain saying? What are we going to do tonight, Brain? The same thing we do every night. Try and take over the world.
No, that was your favorite saying. From Pinky and the Brain.
Yep.
That wasn't my favorite saying. I don't think I ever had a favorite saying. No, it was whatever.
It was take over the world, boss. Yep, absolutely. So yeah, I mean, that was one of my favorite cartoons. I mean, I had a bunch of them, but yeah, that one. But yep. Trying to read through the comments here. Well, I wouldn't consider you being old. Still, you look pretty young. Remind me to tell Junior thank you. If you're in here, thank you. If not, I'll thank you through Instagram. So.
Don't know who Junior is.
And then there's Teresa. She was in Ohio last weekend. She was visiting one of her patients. Run a small series in the history of computers. Anyways, yeah, thank you, Junior. A small series in a history of computers. I don't think I could do a small series on it. Because, I mean, you have to go back to the very first computer, which was in Greek times. There's a I would have to find. I can't think of what it is, but it's predicting celestial movements in the sky. It's considered the very first computer.
Don't look at me.
I
thought it was Commodore 64.
Yeah, no.
That was my first computer.
Mine was. I want to say I know I had a Commodore 64. Oh, I had the Commodore 64, the Commodore Plus 4. I had the Commodore Plus 4 for ages. I went to a high school tournament on that. Yeah, I went to regional competitions for science, I think it was. And this is the first time I'd ever heard the word artificial intelligence. You're asking a kid who's 15, and I did a whole presentation on a computer about, it was history. It wasn't science. So I did it, and it was like the Mayflower coming over, and I've got the shape of the eastern coast of the United States over. Da, da, da. And so, I gave my presentation, and I had 4 judges instead of everyone having like 3. I got the 4th one. The 4th guy comes over, and I go through the presentation. He goes, "That's nice." He goes, "So what do you think of artificial intelligence?" I was like, "I'm giving a history presentation. What's this got to do with computers?" So I was like, that was my first foray into artificial intelligence. Excuse me. Then, of course, the one judge, when I went to districts, um, that was back in the days when the Commodores had the tape deck recorders, not the diskettes.
The old
The
ones.
old system. So I had my program
Floppy drive.
on a tape, a cassette tape. And so I set up the computer, I turned it on, I explained to the judge, "You'll have to give me about 10 minutes for the software to boot up," because at the districts, it was in a classroom and each presenter presented individually. Where when I went to Heidelberg for regionals, we were all in the gymnasium, kind of like a science fair. And so I get the tape loaded up, the program starts, I give my presentation, and she gets to the end, she goes, "Why was there no sound? You had a tape recorder." So, yeah. But back in the good old days, does it look like it's just you here? Or did you drop out? It says just one person's here. Yep, just you. Okay. Yeah, Junior was working on his computer. I was communicating with him before we started the live. He was trying to figure out how much RAM he could put into his computer. So, but yeah, we've got our time in. Mama's enjoying her funnel cake.
Funnel fingers.
Whatever. Fattening food. We all need more. Hello. Haven't seen you in a while. Oh, and now he's gone.
Oh, somebody's got cat still too.
Oh, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Hello. So yeah, back in the days of the old Commodores, did yours have the diskette drive? The floppy, the big floppies. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I had that later on.
The Frisbee one.
The Frisbee, the big 5 1/4 floppies, which were smaller than the floppy disk at your very first job.
Very far either.
Yeah. Floppies, yes, the big old floppies. You don't see those anymore either. The big floppy drives.
You're lucky if you can find a floppy these days.
Thank you, user. So, yeah, the big floppy drives. Someone asked me a few months ago if I could do a data recovery on one of those. I was like, maybe, but I would have to buy the equipment.
Okay.
I don't know why. I'm sitting here going, what could I don't even know with Windows 10 or with Windows 11 would read it. That's how old that is. I'm lucky that people ask me to do 3.5-inch floppy drives. I got a USB drive to read, but a 5 1/4? I don't know if that could even be done. I found a broken floppy a week ago in the basement.
Which floppy? The
Yep.
big one or the little one?
Yeah, so yeah, that was a long time ago when hey, Simple Jack. Yeah, but yeah, someone asked me to do that. Was like, I don't even know if I could do that on Windows 10 because that technology is so old. I would probably have to build a Windows XP machine just to do that.
You got one.
Well, yeah, I know.
You can help eat those.
Hey, Jack.
Bye.
How are you doing? But yeah, the old 5 1/4 floppy edge drives. in the days of the old.
Yeah, I don't think we even have one around.
No, I don't have a drive like that anymore.
No, I meant the disc.
No, I don't even think we have the discs anymore. Long, long time ago, in an era since been gone. So, but when you worked at Huntington, way back when we was just graduated from college, you said they had worm drives and your discs were 8.5 inches. If I remember correctly. I thought that was just weird.
I don't remember. That's been too long ago.
I know.
I'm lucky if I can remember.
And they called them worm drives. It was like
You got
right.
a funny computer story. Which one would that be?
I do my old AI told me I had to get off the computer. Yeah, I remember you telling me about the worm drives, and because I never heard the technology before. It was write once, read many.
Oh.
And I'm sitting here going, of course, later
That's
that would become
was,
CDs.
I was going to say that had to do with, I don't remember what it was. Was that for the checks?
Yes. And I don't remember, you said you were doing images on it, and I'm sitting here going, on an 8.5 floppy? I'd never thought of that, but okay. But technology has changed so much in 30 years.
I think I think they were burnt to that. And then we had to
and then you keyed them in
to verify the dollar amount when it was reading it properly.
Yeah.
But sometimes the image wouldn't catch the dollar amount.
Yeah, so that was a long, long time ago. So we've been around some technology. I mean, our very first computer was a Radio Shack.
Oh, let's see. Excuse me. I was there for
3 years?
3 years.
Because I was at Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield that long, too.
No. Des was born.
That was a child. That was when you was itty bitty.
We got married in 95, so it was before I got... Yeah, you were a baby.
Yep, you were a baby at that time.
See, she would... We graduated in 92. I had her in 93.
Oh, yeah, when you started working there, it was like Des had just turned a year? Maybe just before she turned a year?
I don't remember. I think I was there a total of 5 years.
Maybe.
Close enough.
Close enough.
Something like that. Because 98 is when I left there. Because we moved to Florida.
Right.
So.
Well, yeah, a long, long time ago.
You're still a baby. You got that right. So your little sister's got you beat. So I'm surprised she isn't on here.
Yeah, she was told. Because when I was making BLTs tonight, she goes, you're doing a live stream? Yes. So, she knew it was here, but, she was probably busy gaming or something. She's got a Twitch account. She should make some money doing this, but she doesn't. So, I don't know. I was sleeping. That's my favorite answer when I get these romance people. Hi, I found your profile. I like you. Do you want to be my friend? Click. Sure, I ain't got nothing to do. Hi. How was your night? Well, I don't know. I was sleeping. I slept through it. I don't know how my night was.
My night was great. I was stuck at work. How was my day? Oh, I don't know. I was sleeping.
I get a lot of those on MeWe.
Stupid people.
For a long time I was getting them on Facebook too. Well, and I got them on TikTok when I first started too. But I just go through and now I get those. I just delete. I don't even mess with them anymore.
Here, I got a question for all of you. It has nothing to do with computers.
Oh, go ahead.
If you're talking to somebody that's the opposite sex and you're in a relationship with someone else, is that considered cheating? Because I keep trying to tell this person that it's not cheating. You can have friends of the opposite sex.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we had a 10 megabyte drive in our Radio Shack computer. But yeah, they were. I mean, I have flash drives that are bigger than that now. So yeah, the $1,000 price range, that sounds about right.
Yep.
I think it was about $1,300 with
Yep.
tax and everything. So that sounds about right at
When
that
we
time.
bought the Radio Shack computer, we spent that, and we bought the printer.
Yeah, we had a dot matrix printer. There's a classic.
And then by the time it was time to upgrade that, you actually tore it apart and upgraded it.
Yep.
Because
That was when the Forced K6s came out, and I built my own because we had made a friend who owned a computer shop in Columbus at that time.
Dayton.
Don't remember. It's been too long ago, but I want to say it was in Columbus. But we'd go over there every once in a while. And
Oh, wait, yeah. The one was in Columbus, and then we got parts from somebody, a friend of mine from high school, and he met us at the French Market in Columbus.
Yep. So my very first computer I built was in a K6, an AMD K6 processor, with a whole whopping 16 megabytes of RAM.
Microsoft Center was in Columbus. Yeah, it was before Microsoft Center. I can tell you that now. I don't even know if that's the place that we got our stuff from is even around.
Well, no, Micro Center in Columbus is still around. They do.
No, but I meant where we got our stuff.
Oh, yeah, no.
I don't think he's still around. Hell, I don't even know. He might be.
Well, Microsoft Center, June said it wrong. Micro Center.
Micros. I didn't say it wrong. That's what the comment said. Microsoft Center.
So, apparently this person knows you.
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
I'm doing okay.
Yeah, it's a really Micro Center is just it's the equivalent of Best Buy, just not on steroids. But yeah, it's a big superstore. And the one in Columbus is not that big compared to the one in Cleveland. The one in Cleveland wow, you can get lost in that store.
What is the difference between megabytes
and gigabyte? Okay, so a gigabyte is 1,000 megabytes. So that's the best way to put that. Micro Center used to even sell, Netscape Navigator. I got a video on the channel where I was repairing a computer. I was going through the old programs to get rid of them, and they had Netscape Navigator installed on their Windows 10. I was like,
how?
Yeah, how and why? But they said they had never used it, so it must have been pre-installed from HP at that time. But yeah, that's what I said. It was like undelete.
If they were a laptop, they were a pain in the butt because you could drop kick those bitches and they'd still keep ticking.
Yep.
In fact, actually,
the ThinkPads.
Yeah, we've got one.
Wait, we got one. I've got one right here.
I believe that's what that is.
I think this is a ThinkPad.
Nope,
this is a Dell. But I mean, look how heavy that. You could drop kick these across the mall. This is an old Inspiron. So yeah. But when we first opened the shop,
We had a ThinkPad.
We had like 5 total.
Yeah.
I found them on sale. It was like a good price. But yeah, they have the ThinkPads had the joystick in the middle of the
I
keyboard.
think that one does.
Probably. That's like these. You remember
Yeah.
what these are? That's a classic. See if I get that closer to the camera. See if it'll pick it up without being just distorted. Yeah, those are the old. This is an old AeroNet Cisco wireless LAN adapter. Yeah, a classic. Yeah, that's it. So you don't see those anymore. I had someone come in the shop about 6 months ago, and wanted me to put a new wireless card in his laptop. I was like, okay, well that's not a problem. I could do that. I said, what do you have? And he puts like, I want to say it was HP Stream Down. And he said, yeah, I got the wireless card cheap. It was like 99 cents. I was like, okay, well, if you got it, I'll put it in. He pulls out one of those. I was like, no.
Oh, yes. I remember that.
I was like, no. He goes, this doesn't go in the inside? I said, this won't even go in your computer. So, it was like, yeah, that won't even go in your computer. Right? And I had that. That's why I hang on to that ancient piece of technology. So when somebody comes in and it says stuff like that, I show them like, no, that's not going to work. That doesn't work like that. But yeah, I get strange requests all the time
Sorry.
for various things.
I'm not used to sitting all day.
I know you're used to standing now.
Yep.
Should make a wall of shame. I used to have one. Well, I didn't have a wall of shame. I used to have a wall of retired tech before we was in this shop. We was in another location on the other side of town. And it was just a couple of rack shelves I had. It had like Windows 3.1 on it, and I think that was the last time I had a 5 1/4 floppy drive. With an iOmega zip drive. So yeah, it was. Someone even dropped off the vacuum tube one time. Someone looked at that and said, "What's that?" I said, "That's a vacuum tube for a very old computer system." So yeah, a long time ago.
Sorry, I've been working a lot. Working third shift. I work anywhere between 12 hours for 6 to 7 days a week now. Just depends.
Do you know some computers are built on can be emergent? Yes, those are aquarium computers.
And they're cool, expensive, and
they're expensive because the water is not exactly water; it's mineral oil. So, and you pay off the arm and leg that. But yeah, you can submerge the entire thing in there, and you put it in an aquarium. I've got a video on that somewhere because someone called me out of Dayton 6-8 months ago, and I got a video on that because they asked me if I knew what an aquarium computer is. I said, like, yeah, it's real simple.
got
There you go.
one.
We got an original AOL disc. But yeah, they asked me if I knew what an aquarium computer was. So I would say, yeah, it's pretty simple. You put the motherboard in, you hook it all up, you put the fluid in, and but he wanted to know why his fish kept dying. Yeah, putting real fish in mineral oil and wonder why the fish were dying. So somewhere back there, there's a video that explains that. It was like someone called me and asked me that was like, why does my fish keep dying? It wasn't a computer. It was like, why is my fish dying in my aquarium computer? It was like, because you put mineral oil in it. So, but yeah, you can submerge hard drives, SSDs, whatever's inside your tower. You can just take the whole thing and just drop it in there. Leave the top up where you could plug things in without getting a spark or anything. But yeah, the whole thing, just submerge it. The only thing bad about it is if you have to change out a component, you have to pull that, motherboard out, and it's all, I don't want to say greasy, but it's oily, so it's going to be slippery. So they're cool to look at. Um, they take up a lot of space. They are heavy. Don't let your cats drink it. Put mechanical fish in it.
There's another oldie.
Yep, an original Windows XP. So, yep, and there's a 3.5. So, yeah, we have some ancient tech. But we keep that around because we have clients who use ancient tech.
Ancient's an understatement.
I got a doctor's office. He, or an eye doctor, I should say. He just sold off his business about 1.5 years ago. But his one eye camera system still used high density, double sided, 3.5-inch floppy disk. They don't make them anymore. I had to find a stock for him. I think I ordered like 100 of them and just put them in his room and said, there you go. He could set like 5 or 6 patients on a diskette. So, yes, I'm not surprised with that. They make great coasters.
Yeah.
That's what we used them for. They make good frisbees. Where my daughter Desiree lives, there's a frisbee park nearby. So yeah, you just fling them, and they fly forever. So,
Better than the floppy drives.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, good times, guns. I remember when we first did networking, when June had a computer and I had a computer.
I still have a computer. What the hell are you talking about?
Des would be little. She'd be like 8, 9 at this time, so we couldn't hook her up. But we ran a crossover wire from June's computer to a wire or a LAN card in my computer, which hooked to another LAN card so her computer could have internet.
Yep.
And that was when Hurricane Floyd came through shortly after we moved to Florida.
Yep.
So,
I believe that's who that was.
And that was the first time I'd ever experienced a hurricane email server party. It was interesting. We're in the middle of email, or in the middle of a hurricane, and everyone's doing this email list server. So you would send out a reply to an email. The email server would mass send it out to everyone. And so you had this whole chain of emails going on with like 3, 4, 5,000 people. And so you would, it was like the old list servers. It was fascinating and mind-boggling, and you'd have people report from one side of town that they get, lots of wind and rain. The other people would not see it so much. It was really cool. Yep, because you wanted to go out and play and hit. Yep.
Yep, the hail.
The hail from that, yeah. So I want to say that was Hurricane Floyd. But again, ages and ages ago.
Well, we had 2 hurricanes the entire time we lived in Florida. For
yeah,
5
and both
years.
of them were like Cat 3s.
The one that was supposed to actually hit Florida
swerved at the last minute and went towards North Carolina.
Yeah. Carolinas.
So
we were driving in that crap. Not you, me and the roommate neighbor. I babysitted her kid. Dez's favorite friend, Naomi.
So Jack, I would ask you to pronounce that, but I'm going to say Desiree. I know Des gets her name mispronounced all the time.
Desaria.
Okay, Desaria. Yeah.
Or at least I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. D&D tune he makes.
So my daughter Desiree is there. I want to get to say I get to claim the names to both of my daughters, but my wife and I had the same choice for name for our youngest daughter. But Desiree is named after a range Ranger Thief from Dungeons and Dragons when I was playing D&D when I was younger. That name, I
Yeah.
picked out that name long before I met June.
And the reason why my youngest daughter's name is Destiny is because I wanted to keep with the DMJs being the initials. So it became Destiny and named her after Destiny's Child. Why? I don't know. The ongoing joke is she was destined to be
She
born
was
because there's a
destined to be
10-year gap
born. That's why
between
she
my
got
two
named.
kids.
So,
funny stuff though. Yeah, we know you love D&D too.
I like D&D too. You know, I seen Robbie's set of 5th edition, and I think it's just gotten too complex. You know, it's like Stellaris. I like playing Stellaris until it got all sorts of crazy. So
Go back to the old times. Do not disturb.
D&D is a role-playing game called Dungeons & Dragons. You've probably heard of it. But Dungeons & Dragons is a pencil and dice game.
Yeah.
Yep, back in the 80s. Yep. That would be back when I was in middle school and high school.
You
And,
played it in college too.
and I played it in college, yes.
And a little after college.
Yep. But I had 3rd edition AD&D, and I had played it with friends when I was in junior high and high school. And so, I mean, I grew up with those rules. I mean, one of the rules is called THACO, and that stands for 2-hit armor class 0. It was how you calculated the hit. And I don't even know if THACO is a thing anymore for the 5th edition. So, would you be able to run it a P? No. This is literally
long before.
This is long before computers. But yeah, it was you had character sheets, and you had a dungeon master who ran the game, and asked Des and her husband Robbie what happens when you put a bag of holding into a portable hole. So it's another world, I think. Yeah, y'all died. It was like a nuclear explosion. But yeah, that's one of those. They would call it a tabletop game now, but it's not even a tabletop. The closest thing to it I can think of right now is maybe Catan, and I've never played. And Catan is like a combination of D&D and Life or Risk.
Game now of D&D.
Yeah, when I was younger, when we had our first, well, Des would be a little too. We had a group that played. We played like every Saturday night.
Yeah. Something like that.
And it was like me. June didn't really play because she didn't get into it.
I don't get into.
But it was me and
games.
Judy and Mike when they were married, and so on and so forth. There was like 8 of us together, and we had a big room that we played in, and yeah, good times. But I had written a program on my Tandy computer with our dot matrix printer because everyone was having a hard time creating characters, and so I just wrote a program and just randomly generated character. And so I had like 75 character sheets already written up. It was like, so a new player came in, it was like, here, go through the book.
Oh, Billy too, yeah.
And Billy, yep. Billy was there too. So, yeah, the old Monster Manuals. I think I don't even have my books anymore. I think I gave them to Robbie and Des. Well, Robbie, and then Robbie switched up to 5th edition later on.
I have no idea where they went.
I think that's where they went. But yeah, the old Monster Manual.
That or we gave them the Goodwill.
Maybe. But those 3rd edition books now are worth something because Gary Gygax walked away from Dungeons and Dragons after a corporate falling out, and so they basically stole Dungeons and Dragons from him, and And
Unless they're in Grandma's records.
well, that's a possibility.
Who
Might be up in
knows?
the storage bin for all I know. But I thought we got all of our stuff out of there after like 10
No,
years.
no, we have nothing in Mom and Dad's storage room.
So
But that's the reason why I said I think we got rid of the books.
yeah, I thought they went to Robbie a long time ago. And then, of course, he got a job and a career and so on and so forth. So he walked away from it for a while, and then he picked it back up later on. But he went and got 5th edition. Yeah, I think I've read something about that. I never looked at that game. Um, like I said, uh, it's my life has been computers forever. So doing that type of gaming, I haven't done it in a long time. I can usually do 3rd edition Dragons and Dragons off the top of my head because I knew the rules that well. I just needed the books for references. So I mean, when Des and Robbie was around and stuff like that, about 10 years ago is like the last time I really played. But yeah, I could make up a dungeon or a campaign off the top of my head. Like I said, the last time I think we really played was Des, your husband, and Robbie's sister, and Robbie's brother. I think that was it. And I think that was the one you guys killed yourselves by putting a bag of holding in a portable in a portal. And of course, can't do that. Of course, you guys didn't know that, and everyone failed their checks. But yeah, it went boom, leveled out like 6 miles of area. It was funny. That final fight was absolutely funny. You guys got creative at the end. Unstable internet connection. Automatically adjusting. Okay. Imagine what country. That would be a good idea. I'm sure Dungeon Masters are doing this already with ChatGPT. GPT. But yeah, just I couldn't imagine because I don't know 5th edition. I'm sure you could just ask, make me a campaign for a party of Dungeon Dragons and and it would just dump it. And yeah, I've tinkered with it a little bit, but I've got people who have used it more exclusive than I have. And yeah, there was like they've talked about that before, where it would write a whole essays or stories, and yeah, it would just boom, there it is. It's like wow. So, but yeah, that might be something I do just for the fun of it. Jump in the chat GPT and say, make me a campaign for Dungeons and Dragons, 5-player characters, and you live on an island, go from there and see what it comes up with. So, but yeah, it would be an interesting thing to watch ChatGPT come up with that. You got to list all the monsters and characters and dexterity checks and intelligence checks and wisdom checks. Throw a god or two in there just for the fun of it. Yeah. Yeah. Long time ago. I'm definitely going to Google that later. Yeah. Yeah. So, classic game. They don't, I don't, too many people play it nowadays. Because everyone's playing computer games like WoW and
Blech.
yeah, and League of Legends and stuff like that.
Sorry.
So I mean, but the good one, it was basically the old Dungeons and Dragons. It was your wits against the dungeon master, and sometimes it got created. And I've seen friendships die over that game. It was like playing Uno, reverse, skip, draw 2, draw 4. Yeah, that type of move. I watch a lot of GTA videos. Fortnite, I've never played it. I've watched people play it. I no.
I'm not into games.
I'm not
Sorry.
into it. So Minecraft, I'm not into
I don't
it.
play it either.
My youngest daughter's into it, but not
Carter.
Carter's into it. But yeah. Yeah, you're not. The official rules say you're not allowed to stack card, but house rules always trumped. Candy Crush, I played.
I played it.
I played that because
I got to a level where I couldn't beat, so I think I was like
last time I
95.
played Candy Crush was when I had surgery and it went all bad.
You spent the 3 months, yeah.
Yeah, I spent
couldn't
3
do
months
much,
playing
but
Candy Crush sitting in a hospital bed. So, and harassing nursing nurses.
and yeah, harassing nurses was an understatement. With
I
you.
did no such thing.
Liar.
They came in.
Have 2 cups. One says
spit and one said swallow, and
Yeah.
the nurses brought that in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So.
What about Candy Crush? I got to like the level 95, and then I gave up. And then I went to Pet Saga. I went to Heyday. What was the other game I played?
I don't know. I don't play too many phone games.
There was another one I played. I can't remember. There was Pet Saga. Land or Gardenscape. Thank you. Leave it to my daughter to remember which ones I play.
The other one that was on
Mixtape.
I was going to say, what was it?
One.
Farmville on Facebook?
Oh, God, no. I hated that game.
Never gotten that game.
Heyday in a way was kind of like Farmville, because you had feed your animals on a certain time. You had to
harvest at
a certain time to get people and all that. But it got boring, and then a lot of people. I mean, I was one of the top people in our group, so.
Highville, never heard of it.
I don't think I ever played that one, Des.
But the only thing
I've gotten more into the match 3, match 4 games.
You know what we ought to try and find? Remember the old Tetris game we used to play? It was competitive Tetris, where if I cleared a line, it threw a line on your board.
They still have that one. I just don't remember, or at least did last time I checked. Let me rephrase that.
So from ages ago, there was a Tetris version where it was a competition, player 1 versus player 2.
It's on Wii.
So if you cleared a row or 4 rows or whatever, those rows went to the other person. And when they cleared a row, it came back to you. And of course, you had to keep from reaching the top.
That's what I'd do if he was killing me at 4 rows each time.
Yeah.
Or 5.
It's on Wii? Okay. I was just talking to David about it. Yeah. Yep, you have a good one too, Jack. I'll make sure to try and create some more interesting, fun videos.
Good night.
So, yeah, we probably should head off to bed too. Wow, you'll probably...
Okay, excuse me? Who's going to bed?
Bed for me. Bed for me, so...
I'm not going to go to bed. I'm drinking a Monster.
I could drink a Monster and a pot of coffee and go to bed.
Well, that's you. That's not me. I'm the one that works the night shift.
Yeah, I know. I know. So, anyways, I think we'll get off. This has been...
Ultra Strawberry Dream.
It's been more than an hour. I'm surprised we've been doing it this long.
Time flies when you're having so much fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So, all right. Talk to you all later. You guys have a good one. Thanks for all the gifts. As soon as I can figure out how to... There it is.